Well, it seems like this partnership should have been done like a long time ago. Did you, when it was first brought, you think the same?
Look, I think there's as we've seen by some of the comments that have been made today and the players out in the field, there's a natural alignment here, and it was always natural from the first time I got involved. But clear to me that this is something that is really important to both families, and that there are huge opportunities for everybody involved.
What does it mean to the NRL in terms of their fight with the AFL, and I guess just statistical numbers in terms of there was always that fight going on. Does this give you a lot of ammunition?
Well, look, in terms of what does this mean, it means really opportunity, and it means opportunity for a lot more people to be involved with the NRL or with Touch Football Australia, those two families. So we're talking about an age range from 5 to 70. You're talking about significant numbers of little girls and little boys. You're talking about a game that can be played every day of the week, all year round. And you're talking about many of the NRL players, as you can see today, have got touch football background. So there's a real natural synergy. But in reality, this is all about opportunity and growth for the game.
Has it become more important, though?
I love touch footy, and I'd love to be out there playing now. To be honest, I would love to have had a bit of a run around Sonny Bill. So that would have probably made my life.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Has it become more important to provide those opportunities now, though, that the AFL's pouring those millions, particularly into Western Sydney and AFL 9s and Auskick?
Look, I think rugby league is very much about growth, and I think this represents real opportunity for growth. And in an arrangement like we see today, we're going to see 530,000 new participants in the game. We're going to see an age range that is just phenomenal. You're going to see a place on the field for all genders, for all abilities. We're going to be able to play it all year round across all of the states in Australia. So it really is a very strategic move for both families, and I'm excited about it, and it's come very naturally.
I guess it's also expanding the profile of the women's game in both codes.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just talking to the Gillaroos, and incredibly proud of their achievements in the World Cup. So I think substantially this allows us to have a much wider age range. It allows us to have all abilities and all genders, and I think that's just a phenomenal step forward, so that there's more opportunity for more people to be involved in rugby league.
Will we see many changes in the actual competitions themselves, or is it just more about having that partnership?
I think the first thing we've done is we've agreed that the partnership's in place, and that's what we've signed off today. I think the next step is to work through where there's synergies, and I think particularly around development officers and the competition structures. I think Touch Football Australia has been there a long time, and they do a pretty good job of the way they manage their competitions. I think there's huge opportunities to think about how we can align those competitions better, but also how we can bring our development officers into play, and how we can grow the different parts of the competition together.
Dave, changing tack substantially, where's the ASADA investigation at the moment?
Look, with ASADA, we've said, we've always been consistent. I think the first thing is that there were serious allegations. The second thing is that we wanted it to get done quickly. And the third thing is that we weren't going to prejudge anybody. So that's where we're at. I think the interviews are well underway. The first round of interviews will complete by the end of August. And we'll stick to those principles, and it will go where it goes once they finish that first round.
It sounds like second and third haven't really happened, have they?
Say that again, sorry.
In terms of, it hasn't happened quickly. It's February when that day occurred, and now I guess it's arguable if people have been prejudged regarding the ASADA investigation. There's a lot of mud that's been slung in that time.
Look, the principles are that we're moving the investigation as quickly as we can, and that's underway. And I'm comfortable, without giving a blow-by-blow account, I'm comfortable with where ASADA are. They'll complete by the end of August, and I think from my perspective, there's been no prejudging, and everybody's given a fair go. And at the end of the investigation, we'll deal with either infraction notices or wherever it lands. But what's important is we do move it along as quickly as we possibly can, and that we do get to a conclusion as quickly as we can. But it's got to be in the right way.
How keen are you to have it sorted prior to the finals? I mean, this could just shatter the entire final.
Look, I think I couldn't give a blow-by-blow account, and investigations by their nature, will follow the course that they need to follow. So I'm not going to set dates or timelines. What I can tell you is that we will have completed the first set of interviews by the end of August, or ASADA will have completed those interviews.
Is it entirely possible that this could be decided upon once the season's finished?
We need to let the investigation run its course. I think what's today about? Today is about a real good news for Rugby League, right? And a real good news story for Touch Football Australia and participation, and that's where my focus is today.
Absolutely. Just one last one on that. Paul Gallen said that he doesn't believe that he personally has had enough support from the NRL. What's your response to that?
Oh look, as I said, we've concentrated on 3 principles, and those principles are: let's get it done quickly, don't prejudge anybody, and there's serious allegations, and that's the way that we're dealing with it. The Players Association, I think, have come out in response to what the levels of support that have been given from the NRL, and of course, Cronulla have been heavily supported throughout from virtually day one by the NRL.
Why is it that
Look, I've concentrated on the things that we've just talked about. I think it's a different code. They've got different challenges. So my focus is on getting the NRL investigation completed with ASADA as soon as we possibly can.
why?
ASADA are the statutory body. You're exactly right. It's their responsibility to conduct anti-doping investigations, but they're very different sports and they're different circumstances, as far as I understand.
Why is it that the AFL's managed to wrap it up soon? Do you think it was that initial period of players perhaps in this league not being as cooperative as theirs? Or?
Look, as I said, I'm concentrating on the NRL. I don't know enough to give you a comment on where the AFL is or isn't. What I can tell you is where we are as a code and how we're trying to get to the end of it, working with ASADA.